Hey, this is Dave Ramsey. I am getting back with you guys. It is week 5. Where is the time going? Well, it's week 5. Today we were talking about the Misner method, which I thought was interesting. I really like a lot of the things that they talked about. And I liked a couple of things that were talked in the book. The first is that only Misner teaches the Misner method. Everybody else just teaches a variation of what they believe the Misner method to be, or what they've gleaned from it. So I really liked everything I was reading. I mean, we had the two passages that were in Crasher's book, and then we had there was something in the Brestoff book also about Misner, and I looked that over as well, which I thought was pretty interesting, even though it wasn't assigned to us. It was a good read. I liked what it had to say about how he was pursuing the action on the stage, or the reaction, and I liked how in the Brezov book, how it actually talked about I can't find the words. How it actually talked about how Misner's method actually really kind of moved towards communion. Well, that's where actors interact with each other and create this relationship on stage, and that relationship on stage is what creates what the audience actually sees, and what creates the mood. So it was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed looking at the I enjoyed looking at the book where it talked about the repeating assignment, where they repeat the same lines back to each other and back and forth, and I could see that going a long ways when they talk about then you have the interaction and the variation. I also liked the part where it talked about where the knocking on the door assignment, where they knock in on the door and they come in and they find the person who's completely involved in a project, and then they do a similar thing to the repeating assignment, which is, I thought that was pretty good too. And then that eventually kind of brings about what it is that the actors realize what's going on stage, and they make that change. I thought that was pretty good. The other thing I thought was good was where the Misner method actually deals a lot more with reaction to the characters, and how one acts towards the other when the one says the other thing, or how when they do an action that moves the focus and changes what's really happening on stage. I like that as well. It reminded me of a play I did. I was doing Miracle on 34th Street. I was playing Judge Harper, and we were in the courtroom, and we had one woman who had rehearsed with us, and she got through the majority of the 6-week run, but the last 2 or 3 performances she couldn't be there. So we brought in an understudy, and the understudy did something interesting when we were doing the play, and we're all on stage, we're doing the play like normal, and she makes this motion where she's playing the prosecuting lawyer, and she makes this motion where she takes her really long fingernails that she had, and she dragged them across the desk at the very beginning of the trial, and all of us on stage, we reacted in a really real way. Well, the shock, like, whoa. And it was like this dragon lady, and it changed the scene because we were reacting to what she was doing on stage. Now, I don't necessarily agree with her making a change during the middle of a performance because that could have thrown somebody off. But the reality is, it kind of shows this feeling of the Mesner method, where the actors react to something that's happening on the stage, and we're in the moment of what's happening there. So that was good too. I also liked when it was talking about when I was reading the book, and it was talking about the death of a salesman, and the different characters those two different characters, about how they were interacting with each other. And one thing I really thought was good and profound was the idea that you were asking, what is it that this character, Biff, is trying to get out of Hap? And it was a little bit more. It wasn't just like, what's my motivation? It was, what is it that you want Hap to see? What is it that you want Hap to do? So it wasn't about the self in the character that they're playing. It's more about what is it that you're trying to get this other character to do, because we're living in an interaction here, and you're telling this story for a purpose and a reason. And I just thought that was really fantastic. Although I see how the Meisner method doesn't really focus on that moment, but it actually it starts with let's react on stage and then moves on to these other things to try to help build the character. So I really enjoyed it. Still enjoying the reading, still enjoying the learning, and I'm looking forward to seeing next week. So good talking to you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. All right, bye.